This is News 8 Now, this morning.
We're trying to help connect them to services and places that would help them be safer and in more appropriate places. And so that's really the best that we can do.
I think that's business, because it affects employees and working to be able to grow business. So I believe we'll be, able to come to some agreements with that.
You heard the stories that they wouldn't be able to go to work if they don't have child care. And in a small town in Wisconsin, that's an issue.
We need a plan because what's in place now isn't working. Our city needs to be aware of and also needs to have the facilities clear so that people with disabilities can get where they need to go.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for watching News 8 Now. I'm Dua Sharp.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Friday.
Finally, TGIF.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah, happy Friday.
And with Friday, hopefully some pretty good weekend weather to help out with everyone's weekend plans.
That's still in the works.
Still in the works.
So we still expect a pretty mild weekend after we get through a little bit of a cool day here today, Dua. So let's get right to it, shall we? Because, this morning, I got to tell you, we're waking up to a clear start, mostly clear weather conditions here across the Coulee region, with the only exception of maybe a couple of passing clouds out there. But really, that's about it. The thing that you see here behind me is going to continue, really, for the most part throughout the day. Last 6 hours have shown mostly clear skies, a few clouds there off to the east, but that's about it. Current temperatures here are into the single digits and teens. Winona's at 10, La Crosse, same thing. Viroqua, you're at 12. Same story down south in Prairie du Chien. Bosquebel, one of the warmer spots, though, this morning at 16. Current wind chill factors, well, we're actually 5 below zero currently in Eau Claire. It's feeling like 2 degrees right now in the La Crosse area. Let's take a look at your planner here for the rest of the day. And I can tell you we will be looking at mostly sunny skies with seasonable temperatures warming up into the upper 20s to low 30s. I think our best chance to hit 30 will probably be around that 3 o'clock hour here this afternoon. And then we expect a warm up here this weekend, and we'll talk more about that coming up in the full weather forecast. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. Officers surrounded an area near 8th and Cass Street to arrest 28-year-old Jarrell Jenkins. La Crosse police report Jenkins was carrying multiple weapons, ammunition, and a body armor vest when he was arrested. La Crosse PD credited several area police agencies and the ATF in helping find and arrest Jenkins. According to court records, Jenkins has 6 open cases in La Crosse County. Most of those charges involve bail jumping, reckless driving, evading officers, and operating a vehicle without a license. Town of Campbell police are still asking for the public's help in locating a runaway teenager. 15-year-old Jaden Halverson was reported missing on January 22nd, and police confirmed that Halverson contacted a family member a week earlier saying she was okay, but did not plan on returning home. Halverson is 5'6" with red hair, a pierced eyebrow, nose piercings, and knuckle tattoos. If you have any information, Campbell police ask that you call the number on your screen. A heads up to voters in La Crosse. Yesterday was the last day to request an absentee ballot by mail. If you missed out on the chance to request that absentee ballot, don't worry, in-person absentee voting at La Crosse City Hall is open today, but you must make an appointment first, and it's only from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call the clerk's office at the number on your screen to ask about an appointment. Remember to bring your photo ID. If you're not voting early, Election Day is next Tuesday, February 21st. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers was in Viroqua to discuss his plan to provide better paid family and medical leave for Wisconsin's workforce. The plan would give private and public sector workers 12 weeks of paid leave starting New Year's Day 2025. The governor met with owners of Wonder State Coffee in Viroqua, along with 96th District Assemblyman Lauren Oldenburg and State Senator Brad Pfaff. Wonder State reps told Evers healthcare costs go up every year, making it difficult to provide benefits to their employees. Evers said investing in competitive paid leave and helping lower child care costs will help businesses grow and retain their workforce.
I think that's business, because it affects employees and working to be able to grow business. So I believe we'll be, able to come to some agreements with that.
You heard the stories that they wouldn't be able to go to work if they don't have child care. And in a small town in Wisconsin, that's an issue.
Senate Majority Leader Devin LaMahieu said it's doubtful at this point that Republicans would support Evers' plan. After Governor Evers' budget address, the University of Wisconsin system won't have all the necessary funds to run their campuses. The UW system will be short about $130 million, which many think will lead to campuses raising tuition to make up for the loss. Republican lawmakers froze in-state undergrad tuition system wide back in 2013, but that lifted in 2021. Now the system's Board of Regents can raise tuition if they choose to. La Crosse's unhoused population has less than 30 days to leave Houska Park. City officials posted an eviction notice on Wednesday. Those staying in the park need to leave by March 15th so city staff can clean and restore the park. The park closed back in October 31st, but the city did not forcibly remove or charge anyone with trespassing. Brian Sampson, La Crosse's homeless service coordinator, says forceful removal of people from Houska Park is the last resort.
We're trying to help connect them to services and places that would help help them be safer and in more appropriate places, and so that's really the best that we can do.
As of now, the city plans to restore Houska Park back to a park. If there are any individuals staying in the park after March 15th, La Crosse's outreach team will offer them support. Tri-state ambulance leaders want to make it easier to access an AED in places around area communities. The AED can be critical to saving a life when people are having a heart attack. Local businesses and organizations can get loaner AEDs from Tri-State. AEDs can be expensive, so this program helps relieve the financial burden and help people save a life.
If there are bystanders available, initiating chest compressions and getting an AED and using that AED are going to make leaps and bounds in terms of improving that person's ability to survive their cardiac arrest.
You can learn more about getting an AED loaned to your organization on Tri-State's Ambulance's website. Local supporters are speaking up about La Crosse's public transportation. The Committee for Citizens with Disabilities wants to make sidewalks more accessible during winter months. A board member says snow can make the day-to-day lives of people with physical disabilities a lot harder, especially when sidewalks are not clear. Members are planning snow emergency sidewalk routes. Specific routes during snow emergencies would fulfill a need that board members say the city has not been able to meet.
We need a plan because what's in place now isn't working. Our city needs to be aware of and also needs to have the facilities clear so that people with disabilities can get where they need to go.
The committee also discussed concerns of snow removal. If you live on a property that has a sidewalk ramp, be sure to clear it to make it accessible for all pedestrians. The journey to get 60 bigs in 60 days continues for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Seven Rivers region, but they just received some big new help from the La Crosse Community Foundation. The foundation presented a $95,000 check to BBBS. Now that donation will be spread over the next 3 years and will help cover operational costs for the nonprofit. This helps the organization focus on recruiting for kids waiting to be matched with a big.
A lot of it will help pay for our staff's salary, who are the driving force behind this. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do any of this work if we didn't have the great staff that we have right now with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Myers says they're having a lot of success getting people signed up during the 60 Bigs in 60 Days campaign, but they still need help reaching their goal. If you'd like to sign up and be a big for a local kid in need, you can fill out a form on the organization's website. We have a link on news8000.com. New sports team could be arriving soon to the La Crosse area. On Thursday, La Crosse Loggers owner Dan Kapanke said the Northwoods League is considering launching a college women's softball summer league. Similar to how the Northwoods League brings in the NCAA baseball athletes, the potential women's softball league would bring together the NCAA's best softball players to play summer ball. Kapanke also said that the league would be the first of its kind in the nation.
I think it's a great idea, and we're going to have to do a little bit of changes at Copeland Park a little bit. It'll be small, but we're going to be on the cutting edge right here in La Crosse of this, hopefully this new Summer Collegiate Women's League.
Kapanke didn't go into detail about the league or when it would launch. Well, still ahead on your morning news, the top cars to help you save some green while going green. We'll explain that, and the La Crosse business owner hoping to spread culture and kindness in the area. That and more is coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Here's a little reminder to treat others as you'd like to be treated. Today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day. It's a day that anyone and everyone can celebrate by doing something nice for someone else. That can include paying for a stranger's coffee or just brighten someone's day by giving them a compliment or smile. National Random Acts of Kindness Day is just another reminder to be kind to everyone every day. Well, don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Our temperatures here as you head out the door are mainly into the single digits and are the teens here as well. Wind chill values, pretty much the teens everywhere, even in some spots below 0 like Eau Claire. You're currently at 5 below at the moment. Let's get checked now on your zone forecast. La Crosse County, you'll be looking at high temperatures today, well into the low 30s. In fact, some of us may not even make it to that freezing mark here today. A better chance of that occurring further south, though. Temperatures, though, in Viroqua, you'll be looking at 28 degrees. Meanwhile, across our central zone today, upper 20s to low 30s throughout the afternoon, and across the north zones, upper 20s mostly here with Eau Claire, looking at a high of roughly between 28 to 29 degrees. Bus stop forecast here for you this morning. We'll be looking at temperatures at 14, partly cloudy skies. Lots of sunshine, though, in the forecast as we head into the heading home day. 29 degrees, mostly sunny conditions, arriving by the time we get to that 2 o'clock hour or so. So dog walking conditions, partly cloudy for the morning, and then followed by sunshine this afternoon with lots of clear skies in place as we head into the evening hours as well. We'll talk more about this, plus your for the forecast, and also get you a sneak peek on what could happen here as we head into your weekend coming up in just a bit.
Well, in our consumer news today, the world's largest food company says it's raising prices. Nestle says many of its 2,000 brands will get more expensive for consumers this year. Nestle raised their prices in 2022 and say those price hikes weren't enough to offset its own costs. But the Switzerland-based food giant's prices may drive customers away. Competitors are also planning to raise prices this year. Well, if you're planning to buy a car but aren't sure which one to get, experts say your best bet might be an electric or hybrid car. Hybrid and electric cars make the most out of your trip to the pump. The new 2023 Toyota Camry and Corolla Hybrid can get you about 47 to 50 miles per gallon. Experts say the best options for snowy weather conditions like La Crosse include all-wheel drive vehicles like the Kia Telluride or Subaru Forester. February is Black History Month, and News 8 Now's Anna Fisher is highlighting a Black-owned business whose owner hopes to spread more culture and kindness around the La Crosse area.
After moving here from Los Angeles, California, Janae Montrese opened her own cafe, hoping to leave her legacy on La Crosse. What started as a childhood dream
I've wanted to own a cafe for as long as I can remember.
Has blossomed into a reality.
We're a great spot where a lot of locals will come, and it's a budding source of new community.
After receiving the Main Street Bounce Back grant last year.
Throughout the state, if you rented out a space within a certain time frame and it had to be empty prior, you got $10,000.
Janae and Ben opened Jay's Cafe.
We're looking to hire someone probably sometime in spring.
To show their support for the small business community, the two owners source artwork and coffee beans from local creatives and roasters.
It's very important to us. We actually budget in every month to go to some of our local faves and spend money there. And I see that with them investing back in me. So there's a mutual exchange happening within our community.
Janae hopes the cafe will serve as a safe space.
if there's somebody else who looks like me, who's in need of a space that's going to truly protect them, I want them to know when they come into this space, you are protected.
Having lived in the South and now the Midwest,
I've been told by a lot of people that they haven't had a lot of interactions with Black people or Black women.
Janae says she's had to get more comfortable with being uncomfortable.
And so when they interact with me on a very safe level. And a lot of times that comes off offensively. Throughout the years, I've learned to let it go and to have more grace for the situation.
The same grace that Janae hopes customers will have towards her.
Creating this space in a lot of ways was also to heal community in terms of race. I want people to come in and have to meet me as a person more than they're meeting me as a Black woman or just a Black person. So I'm hoping that when people come in and they walk away, they're leaving with an expanded perspective on Blackness in America.
Reporting in La Crosse, I'm Anna Fisher, News 8 Now.
This Saturday, Jay's Cafe is holding its first ever open mic night, and the theme is Harlem Renaissance. That open mic night will go from 6 to 8, and for more information, visit their Facebook and Instagram pages. Well, that's it for your consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Dua. We are going to be looking at temperatures here yet again, slightly on the cooler side, but there is some warming up here to come as we head into the weekend. We'll get to those details here in just a second. For now, though, it's currently 10 degrees in La Crosse. We're looking at 14, though, here directly downtown. A feel-like temperature, though, of 2 when you factor in the wind speeds. Currently in Eau Claire, you're looking clear. Temperatures for you are at 4 degrees. Feel-like temperatures are at 5 below, and southwest winds at around 5 miles an hour to work with here this morning as well. So our current temperatures stand into those teens, and even some spots like Eau Claire, as we just saw, Black River Falls, Volkfield, and also up towards Ladysmith. Everybody in those locations called out, we're into those single digits, and we're going to continue to remain this way for our wind chills as well. A lot of locations are waking up to wind chill factors in the single digits, and we're going to continue to stay that way through at least much of the morning before we start to see the wind chills begin to warm up here a tad as we head toward the late morning hours. And then as we take you into the afternoon, you'll notice that our wind chills will be warming up into the upper teens to low 20s thanks to that southwest wind motion that we're going to start to tap into today. And our temperatures also will respond to that as well. As you can see, our temperatures warm up to 30 degrees by 4 o'clock. Lots of sunshine. That daytime heating effect is really going to come into play here today, along with that southwest wind. So you'll notice it here as well. In addition to that, not really a whole lot of clouds to work with either. 10 o'clock looking mostly clear across much of the area. And as we head into this afternoon, still staying the same way. Lots of sunshine, clouds kind of staying our way to our north and east. So here's what's coming next. We're watching a couple systems. We've got high pressure to the south. Notice this warm front's going to move in today, give us that southwest wind motion to work with. That's going to be warming up our temperatures here a little bit. And then as we take you into this weekend, we got a mild air mass that's moving in. Out ahead of this, or actually out ahead of a couple of systems, this cold front here to the north, and then this trough of low pressure developing just off to our southwest. So we'll get that southwest wind motion thanks to those two systems developing. And that's going to warm up our temperatures well above average for this time of the year. In fact, we'll be well into the upper 30s to low 40s for this weekend. Now, we will be looking at mostly cloudy skies, though. And as we take you into Monday, our next system moves in. That could give us a slight chance of snow to work with, followed by yet another cloudy day, it looks like, for Tuesday with a high of 36 degrees. But watch what happens, though, Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to be looking at good chances of snow moving in, and that is from yet another very potent storm system that could affect our weather here, so we'll keep our eyes on that for a potential winter storm affecting the area, with temperatures dropping into the 20s and 30s later next week as well. All right, stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, though, we are taking a quick break with a look what happened on this day in history for February 17th. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Blitz. Basketball teams throughout the area are wrapping up the regular season, but we're going to start on the ice. Hockey teams are already in the postseason. That includes the Cooley Region Cyclones. And the girls are looking to return to Madison for the second straight year. They can get there with the win over the Western Wisconsin Stars. First period, McKenna LaFleur grabs a loose puck behind the net, quickly sneaks by the keeper for the first goal of the game. To the second period we go with 2 off the ice for the Cyclones. Diana Hansen making save after save to keep the visitors off the board. She finished with 27 on the night. Ahead to the third we go. After one shot doesn't go in, LaFleur cleaning up the loose puck. Cyclones take a 2-0 lead. Barely 2 minutes later, Jaden Hammis from between the circles. That's another for the Cyclones here. They add 2 more on their way to a 5-0 win. Cyclones will host Black River Falls. They upset Chippewa Falls last night 6-2. That game will take place on Tuesday. Hardwood time senior night at Aquinas High. Blue Golds dominating the MVC once again. The squad has won 89 straight conference games dating back to December of 2015. They were looking to make it 90 straight against MVC rival Logan. Blue Gold starting off strong. Barcha Nizdalova with the steal, other end of the floor. She lays it in for 2. Aquinas up 4. MVC champs putting on a show on offense. Sammy Davis knocks down the triple. Aquinas goes up by 19. Logan looking for some momentum. Liberty Sprain down low. She goes off the glass for 2, but the Blue Golds have just too much. Macy Donarski gets an open look from beyond the arc. No problem for the senior. Aquinas wins it big, 78-18. Blue Golds open up the postseason next Friday at home. Logan will open Tuesday on the road. Let's go to the Cooley. West Salem closing out the regular season at home. Panthers looking to stay unbeaten in conference against rival Arcadia. This one tight early. Reese Sackett to Megan Johnson for 2. Panthers go up by 5, but the Raiders rallying back. Cassidy Peeler catching fire. Corner 3 is money, and the junior was feeling it. Peeler with back-to-back threes. We are tied in Arcadia, adding some more. Bria Golden straight to the cup. Count it, +1. Raiders go up by 3, but the Panthers punch right back later in the half. Johnson again fighting her way up for 2 more. West Salem regains the lead, and then it's the senior Anna McConkey working in the paint, putting it off the glass for 2. Panthers pull away in the second half. They stay perfect in conference play, 65-40 the final. Up next, we have Cochran Fountain City taking on Dairyland rival Melrose Mindoro in the first half. Lily Radcliffe lighting it up from downtown for the Mustangs. Then later in the half, Radcliffe again from downtown. Nothing but net for the senior. Pirates came to battle, though. Emily Mann makes a quick pass to Isabella Holzer, who draws the foul and gets the N1 to put the Pirates up by 1. A few plays later, Claire Becker between the legs, step back 3, bang. This would put the Mustangs up by 2, but the Pirates, they rally back and they sail past Melman 60-55. Over in Bangor, the Cardinals taking on Royal in a big Scenic Bluffs Conference matchup. First half, sharpshooter Tanner Jones, he's been incredible this year. He pulls the trigger for 2 early on. Low-scoring game, though, in the first half. Other end, Panthers respond. Tyrus Wilds hits a big 3 to keep this one tight. But the Cardinals, they answer back. Dustin McDonald reads the pass. Panthers chase him down, but can't stop him from adding 2 more to the lead. Jones, he finishes with 22 points on the night, fakes a shot, passes to Samuel Kropp for a beautiful 3. Cardinals go on to win it 54-43. They clinch a share of the conference title. Let's go to La Crescent Hoka High School. Lancers at home in front of a packed gym, taking on Rushford Peterson. La Crescent up 18 at the half. Trojans trying to battle back. Caden Lee hits the nice floater here. Rush Pete still down big, though, and the Lancers not pulling any punches. Noah Berkey-Weezer with the fake of the night, and the 3-ball is pure. La Crescent up 23. And then it's Mason Einerwald showing off the handle. The pull-up J is money. Lancers go up by 25. And how about Carter Todd? The senior has done it all for the Lancers this season. La Crescent Hoka wins it big, 59-24. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Minnesota legislature plans to entitle workers with paid sick leave. Nearly all workers would be entitled to paid sick leave under a plan moving through the legislature. It's aimed at the roughly 1/3 whose employers don't already give them time off when they're sick. Employees would be guaranteed 1 hour of paid leave for every 30 hours worked, up to 48 hours per year. nothing would change for workers who already have better benefits. On Wednesday, the Minnesota Supreme Court upheld state laws that prohibit people with felony convictions from voting until they finish their parole. That left the decision to the legislature to decide if voting rights should be restored when people leave prison. The American Civil Liberties Union, which filed the lawsuit on behalf of people with felony convictions who can't vote, had argued that the state's constitution guarantees the right to vote once a person is released.
Our clients now have no recourse to the courts, and it is therefore past time for the legislature to act.
Minnesota legislature is inching closer to changing that law. The bill is primed for a full Senate vote, having passed through all necessary committees. The chamber could take the legislation up as early as next week. Moms from around Minnesota and other gun control supporters headed to the state capitol in St. Paul Thursday to campaign for stricter gun laws. Moms Demand Action and others gathered for the annual Minneapolis-St. Paul Advocacy Day to demand more gun control legislation. Molly Lutz, a member of the Mothers Against Community Gun Violence, said Minnesota moms still don't see any progress.
We are the people who have been making cookies and welcoming legislators to these chambers with a smile, while holding and sharing heartbreaking stories of individual and collective loss. We have been emailing, calling, Zooming. We have been losing forward, and we continue to show back up.
LaTanya Black, the founder Mothers Against Community Gun Violence, said no one has the right to take a life. The famed Dancing Grannies are in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. They're ready to perform in carnival celebrations for the first time. Local performing group the 610 Stompers were there to greet them at the airport as they arrived from Milwaukee. The Stompers and the crew of Thought invited the women to Sunday's parade. 2 years ago, 3 of the grannies and 1 of their volunteers were killed during the Waukesha Christmas parade. Members say getting back to performing is the part of the healing process.
We are so very excited. We have chills every time we see something, tears of joy, happiness. We are on top of the world.
It's amazing to be able to share a bit of New Orleans Mardi Gras with folks from other parts of the country, especially the Dancing Grannies, after all that they've been through.
Again, the Grannies will be performing in Thought. They kick off at noon on Sunday on the Uptown route. You can also catch them tomorrow on the Eyewitness Morning News. Well, Valentine's Day has a whole new meaning for one Iowa family. Not only did the mom give birth on Valentine's Day, she was helped by a doctor named Valentine. Stacy Horst reports.
Meet Lucas Logue. Our camera captured the 8-pound, 14-ounce bundle of joy just 3 hours after he was born. His proud parents say he is the sweetest Valentine's Day gift.
I asked him like months ago what we were going to do for Valentine's Day, and he said have a baby. Oh, and then we did.
Not only does Lucas have a special birthday he will always remember, but the doctor who delivered him has a name he will never forget.
It's interesting when I knock on the door. I'm Dr. Valentine, and I look in the room like, yeah, not a joke, it's me.
Yes, you heard that right. Dr. Valentine delivering babies on Valentine's Day. It happened twice here at Mercy One in West Des Moines.
I know, that's so cool, it really is.
Little Lucas is already stealing hearts, and his parents will remind him of this special coincidence for many Valentine's Days to come.
I hope that brings back some good memories for him too.
Well, what a beautiful story there, right? But here in downtown La Crosse, our temperatures are looking pretty cold. 10 degrees currently, with a feel-like temperature of 2 now when you factor in north-northwest winds at around 5 miles an hour. Here's what it looks like as we plan your day. Lots of sunshine, temperatures into those mid to upper teens here throughout much of the morning. Now, by the afternoon, that's when we start to warm up our temperatures into those mid to upper 20s. And then by 4 o'clock, come later in the day, our temperatures warm up to about 30 degrees here this afternoon, which will be our high temperature. Mostly sunny sunny and very seasonable for today. West-southwest winds at 10 to 15. For tonight, 22 will be our temperature. We'll start to see a little bit of cloud cover early on in the night, followed by clearing skies again here later at night. South-southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour again. So for your drivecast, things are looking good. Lots of sunshine to start us off this morning, and then complete sunshine here as we head towards the mid-commute, and no problems here for the evening commute here as well, with clear skies still in the forecast. We'll talk more about your full weather forecast coming up after the break, and also coming up in our Buzz Report too. The Minnesota town celebrating a movie that was filmed 30 years ago on the streets. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Sure, it's a nice clear start outside this morning from City Cam 8 here in downtown La Crosse, but it is very cold, though. Temperatures at 10 degrees. Here at WKBT, we're at 13, so maybe a few degrees warmer. Visibility looking good, though, at 10 miles for your morning commute. And as we head north here in Eau Claire, conditions are much colder than that, with a temperature reading of 4 degrees, a feel-like temperature of 5 below, and southwest winds at around 5 miles an hour. Current conditions across the area as far as our temperatures go are into the single digits and teens. We got temperatures well into the teens from La Crosse and also down to the south. Meanwhile, the rest of us really, for the most part, are reading temperatures well into those single-digit readings, with wind chills also mainly into the single digits. And in some spots like Eau Claire, you're actually well below zero here currently, and we're going to continue that trend as we progress through much of the morning. Now, come around late this morning, around 10 o'clock or so, we should start to see some evidence of the wind chills warming up into the mid-teens. So we'll get out of those single-digit feel-like temperatures by that point, and especially as we head towards those late afternoon to early evening hours today, we expect our wind chills to significantly warm up well into the upper teens, if not even the low 20s. Let's talk about your planner. Around 7 o'clock. 13 degrees, partly cloudy skies, lunch hour looking clear, temperatures at 24, sunshine around 4, temperatures at 30, and then we drop down to 25 degrees under mostly clear skies by the time we reach around 8 o'clock this evening. Underneath mostly clear skies pretty much all day long here today. So it's not just the morning, because as you can see, as we fast forward into the afternoon, everybody is going to be looking clear. There could be a few clouds moving in from the north and west across Rusk County, but other than that, lots of sunshine for everybody to work with throughout the day today. It's just going to be a little bit cool, though. However, you can see that we have this warm front that's going to move through. It's going to be giving us a southwest wind motion as well, and that's going to occur here today. That's why we're going to start to see our wind chills and temperatures here warm up at least a little bit, but especially, though, this weekend, because we got the southwesterly wind motion that's going to be a little bit stronger here this time, and out ahead of this developing trough of low pressure here, too. So that's going to give us a warm air advection motion to work with, and that is going to allow our temperatures to significantly jump up into the upper 30s to low 40s as we head into this weekend. And in fact, we could be very close to that 40-degree mark on Sunday, but absolutely so here on Monday. 40 degrees will be our high there, with a slight chance of snow showers as well from our next system coming in. Now, we look to be cloudy on Tuesday, 36 degrees, with snow showers expected here by mid to late next week, with temperatures also dropping into the 20s and 30s. Looks like Friday we're going to end the work week with cloudy skies and temperatures at 20. But again, we'll keep our eyes on for mid to late next week of what could be a potential winter storm. Stay here. We'll keep you updated here on News 8 for the latest.
The new Ant-Man movie is looking for a big opening weekend. The forecast website Box Office Pro predicts Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania will be the first Ant-Man movie to debut with more than $100 million in North American ticket sales. It's the first Marvel movie to hit theaters since Black Panther: Wakanda Forever in November. Well, 30 years ago, one of the most Minnesota movies of all time debuted in theaters. We're talking about Grumpy Old Men, a classic that seems to stand the test of time. And to celebrate 30 years, the city of Wabasha is hosting a Grumpy Old Men festival next weekend on February 24th and 25th. Naturally, there's an ice fishing tournament, a grumpy plunge, spaghetti, chili feeds, and of course, a lot of plaid.
Poetry, art, and math all working in magical synchronicity. It's the perfect game. Tetris?
Tetris.
Tetris. Tetris.
Tetris. I don't get it.
If you thought you knew Tetris, think again. Here's a look at the first trailer for the movie Tetris, a Cold War spy thriller starring Taron Egerton. He plays an entrepreneur obsessed with the game who travels to the Soviet Union to acquire the rights to what he's sure will be a blockbuster sale. Tetris debuts on Apple TV Plus on March 31st.
I need you. All of you.
We're with you. Always.
Engage.
An adventure in the final frontier comes to a close with the final season of Star Trek Picard. Members of the crew of Star Trek The Next Generation and other Trek adventures are reunited for the third and final season of Star Trek Picard. Patrick Stewart assures fans this is not a gimmick.
25 years had passed. I know I had changed significantly in those 25 years. And so we began to examine then how has Picard and how has Troy and how has Riker and how is Data, even Data, how are they changed? How are they different? And that's what made these 3 seasons so worthwhile.
The final season has 10 episodes. Well, speaking of all of these movie trailers, Derek and I, we mentioned previously, Grumpy Old Men reminds us of a certain meteorologist.
Someone named Bill Grahl. Now, we're just having fun with Bill, but I mean, hey, it is kind of fitting, I guess, in a way, right?
Well, you know what? I'm safe. Bill's your boss, not mine.
True that.
Yeah. I am that Tetris. Have you ever played the game?
I haven't, no.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to make you play live on television.
Let's do it. I'm all for trying new things.
All right. Well, before we head to break, you know what time it is. Today's Look Who's Age.
That's right, Dua. Our first one here is to Emma, who is turning 8 months. Now, Emma has a really contagious smile that lights up any room, as you can see right there in her picture. My gosh, Dua.
And she's got little lipstick kisses all over
that's so
her.
cute.
That is
I
so
love
adorable. Happy 8th birthday to Michael. Michael is excited to turn 8. He loves his dog Bruno, playing basketball, and playing video games.
Well, happy 80th birthday to Bud. Now, Bud is an avid photographer and sportsman. He loves his community so much that he was named Trempealeau's County Citizen, or Co-Citizen of the Year, I should say. So
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Well, stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. The unhoused population has less than 30 days to leave Houska Park. City officials posted an eviction notice on Wednesday. Those staying in the park need to leave by March 15th so city staff can clean and restore the park. Now, the city's permit for the park expired back in October 31st, but the city did not forcibly remove or charge anyone with trespassing. Brian Sampson, the city's homeless service coordinator, says forceful removal of people from Houska Park is the last resort.
We're trying to help connect them to services and places that would help them be safer and in more appropriate places, and so that's really the best that we can do.
As of now, the city plans to restore Houska back to a park. If there are any individuals staying in the park after March 15th, La Crosse's outreach team will offer them support. The journey to get 60 bigs in 60 days continues for the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Seven Rivers region, but they just received some big help from the La Crosse Community Foundation. The foundation presented a $95,000 check to BBBS. That donation will be spread over the next 3 years and will help cover operational costs for the nonprofit. This helps the organization focus on recruiting for kids waiting to be matched with a big.
A lot of it will help pay for our staff's salary, who are the driving force behind this. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do any of this work if we didn't have the great staff that we have right now with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Myers says they're having a lot of success getting people signed up during the 60 Bigs in 60 Days campaign, but they still need help reaching their goal. If you'd like to sign up to be a big for a local kid in need, you can fill out the form on the organization's website. We have a link on news8000.com. New sports teams could be arriving soon to the La Crosse area. On Thursday, La Crosse Loggers owner Dan Kapanke said the Northwoods League is considering launching a college women's softball summer league. Similar to how the Northwoods League brings in NCAA baseball athletes, the potential women's softball league would bring together the NCAA's best softball players to play summer ball. Kapanke also said that the league would be the first of its kind in the nation.
I think it's a great idea, and we're going to have to do a little bit of changes at Copeland Park a little bit. It'll be small, but we're going to be on the cutting edge right here in La Crosse of this, hopefully this new Summer Collegiate Women's Leagues.
Kapanke didn't go into detail about the league or when it would launch. Well, shift your weekend into gear with the Monster Truck Nitro Tour. Starting tonight, you can catch the nation's most competitive monster trucks at the La Crosse Center. The action-packed show will feature crushing giants competing in races, wheelie contests, and more. The first show starts at 7:30 p.m. tonight and at Saturday evening. You can catch a glimpse of the trucks up close at the Pit Party event before the show at 6. For more information and how to purchase tickets, we posted a link on our website. That's news8000.com. The Eagle Bluff Environmental Learning Center is hosting their Winter Outdoor Family Weekend. The weekend will include activities such as high ropes courses, rock climbing, archery, and more. The event runs all weekend long from Friday to Sunday. Tickets are $165 each for each family member, and that includes meals and a lodging. For more information on how to buy those tickets, we posted a link on news8000.com. And also happening this weekend on Saturday, the Pearl Street Brewery will be hosting their 24th annual Winter Ball. The ball will include new releases of beer, wine, and hard cider mixers. Food will also be available for purchase, and live music will be performed by Minnesota and local bands. The event will run from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets are $25, and you must be 21 years old to enter. For more information on how to buy those tickets, we have that link posted on news8000.com.
All right, now as you head out the door this morning, keep in mind it's a little bit nippy out there this morning with temperatures into the teens. We're going to be warming up into the 20s though by around 11 o'clock, followed by the upper 20s by 1. We should reach 30 degrees though in some spots, including the La Crosse area around 3 o'clock today. Mostly sunny conditions and seasonal temperatures. Now, as we take you into the weekend, I'm happy to tell you we're going to be warming up into the upper 30s. Some spots may even reach near 40 degrees come on Sunday and also Monday. Now, speaking of Monday, there's a slight chance of snow, but better snow chances for Wednesday and Thursday from our next storm system that could potentially give us a winter storm. We'll keep our eyes on that, though.
Oh boy, I don't like the sound of winter storm.
Yep, it is still winter after all, so something we'll have to keep our eyes on up here.
We talked about this briefly. This is called that pre-spring tease, where you think it's spring, but it's not, and then the weather teases you, and then boom, winter storm, winter again.
Especially like later in the month too, when we get closer to March, it happens like all the time.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching and waking up with us on this Friday. We'll have more information and more stories posted today on News 8 Now at noon and on our website, news8000.com. We hope you have a great weekend. Again, thanks for watching News 8, and
we'll see you later.
See you later.